A steel magnate, one of the most famous steel magnates in this country, is now on an overdrive. He wants to buy everything from car companies to retail companies. We're talking about Sajjan Jindal. Sajjan Jindal, and there was talks for the longest time about Sajjan Jindal buying the MG Motors' India business, because bear in mind, MG Motors is owned by a Chinese company called SAIC, and since Chinese companies cannot have front-end investments in India, there was going to be a stake sale, and Sajjan Jindal was supposed to be in the front line. Now we understand that he has a clear plan, and this is Sajjan Jindal's plan. Step 1, buy a sizable stake in MG Motors and form a new entity. And step 2, acquire Ford's Chennai factory with that new entity that was being created with the acquisition of MG Motors stake. And step 3, even as this is taking place, get some licensed cutting-edge EV technology or electric vehicle technology from China's Leap Motor, one of their leading EV brands in China. So this is Sajjan Jindal's game plan, Kartik. But we're discussing at a time when, okay, this is his auto game plan, but on the sidelines is already also planning to buy Kishore Bayani's future enterprises as well.
So I think you talk about backward integration, you talk about forward integration, you talk about diversification, everything folding into this one story emerging today. I think we've known for a while that, acquisition of MG Motors was, or at least some sort of an increased stake in an Indian entity owning MG Motors to enable MG motor cars to be sold in India easily without any bureaucratic hurdles was in the making. And the front runners also at one time included Hero MotoCorp as well as Reliance Industries.
Right.
And we also knew that Sajjan Jindal is in the fray, but I think today's news very prominently assuring that yes, the only front runner right now is Sajjan Jindal himself. Now, what does it really do? I think number one, for a largely steel infrastructure magnate, it becomes a clear case of forward integration.
Yes.
You buy the Ford inoperational Ford Chennai plant because Ford has exited the Indian markets more than a year ago. And you have a situation where you have this plant and you have this entire assembly line ready. All you need to do now is by acquisition, get SKD, semi-knockdown units of existing technology available in China and elsewhere and assemble these MG cars in India. Perhaps in some way also further augment your steel business by making some components of that car within India and within that Ford Chennai factory. So at one level, you're talking about this forward integration beautifully crafted for Sajjan Jindal and for any steel company. And at the same time, you're saying that, retail is not for the big boys alone. And if it is for the big boys, here comes another big boy. And we remember what happened with Kishore Bayani and the kind of hostile dismissal of future brands of Big Bazaar, all of that rebranded by Reliance as Smart Bazaar, and the land on which and the retail space on which the future brands existed pretty much overnight changing to Reliance owned. And now I think this future brands is also a new story emerging as part of Sajjan Jindal's diversification of Jindal Steel, saying that we are no longer going to be just a steel company or an infrastructure company. We are not going to be only in the B2B segment, but we are going to be in the B2C segment, where we are going to give you everything from cars and everything that goes into making those cars and retail.
Right. So we will be keeping our eyes on Sajjan Jindal. What he plans to do with Future Group is still more sketchy as compared to what he plans to do with the auto industry.